Hello, everybody. Welcome to Arsenal X podcast. As always, we throw out the X. Yes, because we're about to throw down. I'm your host, Eddie V. Joining me is my wise Wisconsinite, Mr. Jesse Douglas. Also, it's boss man himself from the NGR Radio headquarters, Mr. Corey Dirrig.
It's me.
Yes! How you guys doing?
Great.
Pretty good.
Great.
We are back. I'm so happy to be back talking about Xbox stuff. There's a lot of news that we're going to have to cover, but before we get into all of that, Corey, what's been in your arsenal?
Well, before we get into that, why don't you plug the contest first?
Contest? I was going to wait.
No, do it now. Just do it now. To get people excited.
All right. Hey, Corey and Jesse, you know we got a contest, correct?
What?
Yes.
Huh?
Hey, Arsenals, we have an awesome contest.
Like Banjo-Kazooie. Ooh.
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 I need to play that game. I've never beaten that game. I need to play it. Hey, Arsenals, we have an awesome contest happening. We want to hear from you and would love to have your questions. Not just any question, though. Email us at arsenalxpodcast@gmail.com with an out-the-box Xbox question for our Expansion Pass episode that you only can catch on NGR Radio on YouTube. And the winner that is chosen not only will win this, but have this amazing Forza Motorsport 5-car premium set from Hot Wheels. Your question will be dedicated for the show, and you'll know that you win because we'll have your question on Expansion Pack. You have until January 27th, and we want you guys to title the email Arsenal X XPAN. That's a big title X PAN Pass Contest. The question and winner will be announced when the episode is released. So get it in and have fun thinking. I am your host, of course, Mr. R. Eddie V, and I will be sending out the gift of you guys into the contest and win. So good luck to all of you guys. Send us your questions. You have 2 weeks to get that question in. Really think outside the box. Let us think. But that is our contest. You guys can go to our Arsenal X Facebook page and see how it looks. And it looks sweet.
Yes.
Sweet. I was thinking of something for NGR. There's a Justice League big one for Hot Wheels, but you guys can do your own contest. But yeah, into the contest. Now, back to you, Sir Corey. What is in your arsenal?
Oh boy, what have I been playing? I haven't really been playing much Xbox lately, but I've been playing a ton of Switch. Like I said on Pal Block, I finished all of the Breath of the Wild DLC now. So that game has officially been taken out of my Switch cartridge carrying case and back in its rightful box, and gonna be there until I decide to play it again. So didn't do Master Mode, but Champions Ballad was... I know I was a little bit down on Champions Ballad, especially if you've listened to NGR Radio proper or Pal Block recently, but the last 2 Champions I did, those were really good, and the new Divine Beast was really good, and the final boss fight was the hardest thing I've done in a long time in video games. Ed and I were in an Xbox party chat, and I was playing, and I got a little bit loud, and then Ed left the party for a little bit, and I went and grinded out a bunch of stuff for I had like 3 wikis open. I had videos open on my laptop and my phone, and I was like, this boss is hard. I don't understand how anybody can beat this boss. And then like I went and I grinded and I literally scanned every single amiibo I own, so I wouldn't have to go hunt for food. I was like, Ed, we're going for a ride, and I took my Xbox controller over to the entertainment center and literally scanned every one of my amiibo.
You did too.
Probably like 60 of them over there.
Look, I was just like, where we're going? She was like, oh, we're just going to the chair over here. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm thinking, he taking the Switch in his phone and we're going to Taco Bell or something, getting some chicken sandwiches or something. Like, no, going to the next room. I'm like, okay.
So that final boss was really hard. I'm just gonna, I don't know, maybe I just suck at video games and maybe people don't think it's hard, but I thought it was really difficult.
It was frustrating.
And like I had been playing Bloodborne. I played Bloodborne twice this week with Moose and Matt, and that final boss fight was harder than anything I did in that game. So, yeah. So, but that game, I took a lot of screenshots of that game, and I think I'm gonna try to go through and kind of weed out the bad ones or the duplicates or whatever, and kind of make a nice Zelda kind of picture album type thing on Facebook and go through and kind of post the ones I like on Instagram and stuff. So
nice.
But yeah, that was the big game I beat. And then Assassin's Creed, I guess I did play a little bit of Xbox. Assassin's Creed, I went and opened up all the areas in the map so I know where to go. Like, because I think I do want to try to get all the achievement points in that game. But that's kind of it, really. I'm moving on to Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, and I'm prepping myself for when we all get Sea of Thieves and are like, yeah, I'm really into the pirate thing right now, because like I found my Black Flag T-shirt, and Assassin's Creed Rogue just got announced for Xbox One, and I'm really excited to just be a pirate.
I wonder if I should get Assassin's Creed Black Flag for Xbox One. And
well, I have it for Wii U, and it's like,
I do too.
But I'm stuck at 94.2% on the Wii U version because that final 5.8% requires you to do online things with friends. And guess what? The Wii U version does not have online functionality. So I'm stuck at 94.2%. It's really bugging me. That's what you get for buying it on a Nintendo system, I guess.
Show support.
I did show support. I showed 78 hours of support for that game on Wii U. And I still only have 94.2%.
That's still good.
How about
That's
Ubisoft?
That they just added that
support for Nintendo and give me an online mode where I can play with friends, and Nintendo doesn't make me enter in friend codes.
I need to play that on Wii U and literally install it and start playing it. Can I tell you that I got that game unwrapped at my job for $4?
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's still my favorite Assassin's Creed, even after all this time I spent with Origins, and I was really debating. Black Flag's still the best. For me, it's cool. Black Flag's, Origins, Brotherhood are the top three, I think.
Brotherhood is the side game of 2, right?
Yeah, it's the sequel to 2. Yep.
Well, shoot. There was 5 different versions that was still in that time era from 2? Because it's like Brotherhood, Revelations.
There's 2 Brotherhood Revelations. I think that's it for 2. There's a bunch for 3. 3 has the most extended canon, or that time period, because 3 Liberation, 4, and Black Flag and Rogue all take place together like that.
But was it Unity and
Unity takes place the end of Rogue leads into Unity.
Okay. But you know what? It may just be the setting then,
maybe
of 2, because it felt like they were stuck in that medieval Europe time, for 7 to 8 games. I'm like, goodness, can y'all move on?
Yeah, it was. But I mean, that's a quick way to get sequels out faster, is to reuse assets in similar areas and stuff. So
that's that's the way to kill a franchise.
I mean, I get it, but at the same time, it's come on.
Yeah. If you haven't learned from Mega Man, you should learn from Mega Man not don't rule out that many sequels.
You mean 11 of them now?
Plus the X games.
Oh, I'm just kidding.
But is that everything? That's all been in your arsenal, Corey?
Yeah, I did download Super Meat Boy, so I'm excited to play that.
Yes.
But yeah,
right.
That's pretty much it.
All right, Jesse, what's been in your arsenal?
I got to play a couple of different things this week. I did try the Dragon Quest
Builders.
the demo for that on Switch today. And then I played a little Mario Rabbids today and a little Zelda today. And I also got to try the Call of Duty World War II, and I actually liked it, to be honest.
The Modern Warfare 2?
No, the World War II.
Oh, I thought it was Modern Warfare 2 you was trying.
Well, no, I played that too, but I already had that. I tried the World War II, the newest Call of Duty game.
One. Okay.
Yeah, so I tried that out, and I actually surprisingly I liked it. It's kind of reminds me of the Modern Warfare remastered game, where it's if it's fairly basic, and they did like the loot crate system. They did that a little bit better, finally, because I haven't liked the way they've done it in the past, but they did do that pretty decently. It's basically, when you play it, it feels just like Battlefield 1. It's like almost exactly like that, where at the end of the match, 3 random people get a loot crate or whatever that they can, open up, and then it's got cosmetics and stuff like that in it. And then they did like this kind of neat thing where you don't really get too many like options for pistols, but there's like, you can unlock in the loot crates, you can get like basically just skins for the gun. So like it will look like a different gun, but it's still got the same ratings or whatever as the gun that you're originally using. But when you get those, instead of it making it like that the gun is more powerful or anything like that, when you have those new skins and you put them on them, the gun, it actually will give you like XP. So like so all your guns, I think it's like a lot of the guns, you can get like a skin for the guns that when you have that skin on, it will give you like double XP, or it will give you more weapon XP if for using it. So, and then like usually in Call of Duty games, they have where you have like a double XP weekend or whatever. Well, they actually like in Battlefield 1, you can get double XP in the loot crates.
Yes.
So like it will be like so many hours of game time you'll have double XP for or whatever. So they kind of, it looks like, seriously, it looks like they took a lot of ideas from Battlefield 1 and just basically put it into their version of, their arcade version of that game, basically. So, but it was pretty good. I hadn't, I started off playing it and I actually did really well, like right off the bat. So I think that I can probably attribute that though to playing the Modern Warfare remastered and stuff, and kind of getting back into those games.
Are you doing the single player also? World War II? The single player, the campaign.
No, I didn't yet. I didn't do that. I might actually pick this game up. I know I originally wasn't going to, because I didn't think I was gonna like it, just because like I've kind of just not really been very happy with the stuff that they've done in the past. for the Call of Duty franchise.
Yeah.
But it does feel like it kind of is going back to the time when I used to like it a lot. Like during the modern, which I kind of hope that they remaster Modern Warfare 2 at some point, because that was still my favorite out of like all the games. 1 and 2 are still my favorite Modern Warfare.
I bet that'll get it, and I bet Black Ops at some point will get it. Like those.
Yeah.
I bet that whole trilogy will come out as like a Xbox compatibility thing. To be honest with you.
Well, what I was thinking, because I had kind of thought about like games doing this before, like even before we even knew that the Master Chief Collection was going to be a thing. Like I'm surprised that they don't just like release like just a Modern Warfare like collection where it's literally all 3 of the Modern Warfare games. Like you can play just like the Master Chief Collection, where you can play all the single players in regular or enhanced graphics, and then when you play the online multiplayer, it just literally you can get any of the maps from any of the Modern Warfare games. So basically, like all the maps from all 3 games are just like dropped into the multiplayer.
I think they're going to try to milk. They were still trying to milk customers because they was charging for.
I mean, man, for like Master Chief Collection, Xbox is so invested in Halo, like to get people to be into that franchise again, and like the Master Chief Collection, like despite what happened at launch and how rocky the online was, like. People still love to play through those campaigns co-op, especially, and for, I think Activision, like, I mean, they've come out and said it, like they're interested in making the most money they can without spending the money, which is why the port of Modern Warfare costs what, $40 or $50 on its own.
So, 50.
So I mean, I don't know. I think that would have been an awesome idea to like Master Chief Collection it up and like give everybody the maps and which is like what I think is going to honestly happen with Black Ops is they're going to do that to Black Ops, and then Modern Warfare will get Modern Warfare 1 and 2 remastered, because I don't think anybody really cared about 3. But I think everybody loved Black Ops, all of them, from what I hear.
Yeah.
So like if they were to Master Chief Collection it up to any of the sub-series, I think it would be Black Ops.
Wasn't Black Ops 1 though like a 5 or 6 hour campaign? Like people weren't satisfied with that one?
I think they were all short. Because like I remember playing Black Ops 1 and it was like 4 hours long. I was like, what? Where's the rest of this campaign? Because like, I don't know. I played Black Ops right around... I don't know. I was used to like Halo length campaigns because I'd played through the Halo 3 campaign like probably 10 times at that point. And like that campaign is really long, and I didn't play any other first person shooters, Gears of War's campaigns were long, Halo's campaigns were long. Like those are the campaigns I was used to. And then you play Call of Duty and they're like 3 and 4 hours long, which, that's fine. I just wasn't prepared, and I know like the money is in their multiplayer, but
yeah.
So,
yeah. Which I kind of wonder with Modern Warfare 2, does that airplay level still hold weight? I don't think it does now.
I don't know. It's hard to say because. Like going back to Modern Warfare Remastered, like the first one, like I forgot, like playing Call of Duty, like the games now, like the last couple of Call of Duty games versus back then, like playing that Modern Warfare Remastered, I'm like, dang, so this is like when you actually had to have skill to play these games, like because the way the maps are set up, like they're like
for the multiplayer.
Yeah, for the multiplayer, you really had to know what you were doing, or otherwise you would not survive. Like it was just so much harder, and you had to be so much more skillful to really do well. And like now it's like there's so many things that, and like a lot of the newer ones, there's so many things you can do, like you can basically just sit still and like get a whole bunch of kills, without even having to move. But in those games, like you had to really, like you had to know how to use sniper rifles for sure, because like during that time, if someone is using sniper rifles, it only takes one shot to kill someone, with almost any sniper rifle in that game, which, now it's like you can shoot someone 2 times maybe to kill them with a sniper rifle. So, I mean,
it's not even that. It's like some of the assault weapons, just like if you hit them 3 times, like they're dead. It's just like, well, I think like you don't have, like if you get hit, that's pretty much it for you in the newer games. Yeah, not in Modern Warfare though. Like it only took 1 shot with a sniper rifle. Yeah, like you basically, like you had to be good at sniper rifles and have people running sniper rifles, and like people using all the different classes if you wanted to, win as a team. Because some of those maps were so easy to pin people down. So it was definitely a lot more challenging, during that time, like when Modern Warfare came out, and like versus now, people just run around like doing 360s and killing people, and like it's nothing, Well, you got to think that was the old Respawn team, compared to what they are now. Before they split it off to like various studios, I should say.
Yeah, so I've been just kind of playing a bunch. I did play some Siege a little bit, but I didn't really play that too much. I've kind of had other games I've been playing. I picked up Rayman Legends again on Switch and was playing that a little bit here and there. And I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for what I've been playing. So.
All right. Well, in my arsenal, I'm going to start with Switch. Picked up Super Meat Boy, played it. Very fun. Not challenging as I thought it was. It's pretty much physics and timing. And I know that sounds weird, but I was kind of, I know like the easy, I'm in the first levels. It's kind of easy, but still a little bit challenging. I'm just like, no, if you jump at this angle, you time it right, and you're able to use your Mario platforming skills and wall jumping right, you pretty much can get through a lot of these levels. And, you just got to make sure that when you're falling down, you kind of think of Flashman stage with all the lasers coming at you. So you got to time that kind of area. But I'm like, I'm having fun with it. Hopefully I can get further along in that game. But I'm having fun with it. Picked up Blaster Master Zero. Haven't started it yet, but I will get into that. I played a lot of it when I was at Larry Giver's house last year. So I'm going to try to get back to where I was at in that game, because I was getting real far in that mug. Picked up Graceful Explosion Machine. Love that game. Done with the first world. Now I just got to beat the second world. I was just like, dang, David, almost had it. But really enjoying that game. Such an arcade experience. I really love that. Now I wish Next Machina will come to that system for Switch. It belongs on that system, giving me that real arcade shooter feel. I picked up the Dragon Quest Builders demo, enjoying that, kind of laughing at a lot of the stuff with the narrator and everything. And it really is better than Minecraft. It's like easier to understand and play. So loving that. Of course, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I keep calling it Xenoblade Saga. It's not that. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Yeah.
Xenosaga. Man, what a RPG series that was. Cosmos is in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, though.
Yeah,
She's a blade. She's a rare blade.
I gotta find her. I got to get some more blades. That's what I meant. I said more drivers, and I mean more blades is what I need. But I've been playing that Golf Story. I also picked up and played. Loving that game. It's funny. The writing really is good in that game. And yes, it is an RPG. And all you really got to do is just actually golf and land and try to beat the computer and meet the quest that they are giving you, and that's pretty much it. But it's a really fun game. So that's what I've been doing mostly on Switch. For 3DS slash 2DS, I been playing Monster Hunter Stories, working on that game, getting a little bit further. I got my first dragon or my first monster. Now I've become a writer, and I'm going to be getting some more, like playing that throughout the week. Also, haven't touched Dragon Quest 8, but did play some Yokai Watch 2 also, so getting a little bit further in that game. Heading on to my PS4, started up Uncharted Lost Legacy. It's more Uncharted pretty much, but just with females. So take that as you may. Yakuza 0, started that up, enjoying that, beating fools up. Just love that game. Just love how good it is. Kiryu is just, he's so good. I love him as the main character. Just love him as a character. He might be one of my favorite characters of all time. Started up, finished Titanfall 2 on easy. Just love whooping tail in that game, just jumping around, having fun with that. Started up Neo, also for PS4. I say it's better than Bloodborne. So having fun with that. I love that fast-paced action and just killing fools and getting their gear and stuff. So I can't wait to get further along in that game. It will kind of really find my main weapon in there, because right now it's just katanas right now, but hopefully I could get like a bow from like Ninja Gaiden or something and just whip tail in that game. But enjoying that. So that's been on PS4. Last but least, Xbox One, started up Lost Odyssey, and it's going to be a long RPG. I'm interested, but like I was telling Corey, there's too many cutscenes. It feels like you're going to take 10 steps, there's going to be another cutscene. Going to enter another room, another cutscene. Be like, goodness.
Honestly, that's the best. Lost Odyssey is like the best Final Fantasy game since 9. Like, I love that game so much. Mm-hmm. Like, yes, there's a lot of cutscenes. There are a ton of cutscenes, and there is a lot to read on the side.
Yes.
But, like, that is a game that you need to invest yourself in, but if you do, like, it's worth it, because the characters are awesome. The story's pretty amazing. The villain is cool, and they totally, like, no spoilers, because I know people are making their way through it, because it was free on Xbox, last year for Games of Gold or whatever. But yeah, that is a game, like, it totally sets it up for a sequel that we never got, and it really makes me sad. And I was like, I just want more of that world and those characters. Because, like, the whole premise of that game is, like, you play as half of your party are immortal. Like, that's the whole point, is, like, they're immortal and they can never die. But every so often they lose their memories. Like, if they are, like, on the brink of death, or, like, you know, if like a normal human being brink of death, and, like, they go unconscious or whatever, and then they forget their memories, and, like, it's all about these immortal beings figuring out who they were in the past, and, like, were they good, were they bad, like, were they, like, in love or whatever. Like, there's this, like, weird, just awesome story, and, like, it's totally worth playing through. If you own an Xbox 360 or Xbox One, find this game and play it, because it's worth it.
Yeah, the physical copy was hard to find. They actually jacked the price up to like $40 because people were looking for it. Like, I had to, even for Blue Dragon, I had to pay like $20 to get it. I'm like, everybody said this game was bad. Why is it now like $20? It's like, great,
because
just wonderful.
It's an anime game that people feel like they need to own.
Well, I think when they announced it for backwards compatibility, that's when they jacked up the price. Because they also did that for like Xenoblade, like the first one. Just like, how in the heck you gonna try? How in the heck you go from $50 to like almost $100 used?
Yeah, and that was at GameStop too. Like GameStop, they had that, and then the Metroid Prime Trilogy collection was like upwards of that too. And I was like, okay. You can download these for $20 on Wii U eShop, like.
And look, Corey, and because I did a pre-sale for it, and I picked it up at $50. GameStop sent me an email saying, "Hey, if you trade this game in, we'll give you $70." But then you see reports of them selling it at $90. I'm like, oh no, I got this first edition. No, them people went to all that trouble to get this game to be released over here. Now it came to Wii U, but might as well put it on Switch. I still got the original version. That's all I care for. So that's what I've been playing. I did try Super Lucky's Tale. Everybody just go play Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. Whew, Super Lucky's Tale is a mess of a game. If you want tight controls, play Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze on Wii U, or wait for the game to come out on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I haven't like got Super Lucky's Tale, is because I've been hearing a lot of mixed reviews on it, and so I've just kind of put it on the back burner. I wanted to get it, but if you said that you don't think it would be very good for even kids to play, then there's probably no reason for me to get it.
I would say for you, Jesse, since you got Game Pass, I say wait for it to come to Game Pass and download.
Well, and I've got Rare Replay, so I've got Banjo and Kazooie. I don't really need it. I've got all the Banjo and Kazooie games, so
which I need to start.
So yeah, that's kind of like what's been holding me off too, is because I've got all those games now with the Rare Replay, so I don't really. If I really, I'm in the mood for playing that kind of game, I can just play those. And, and my son has been playing those, so I probably don't really need it. But yeah, if it comes to Games Pass, I'll probably try it, but just wait.
Yeah. So that's everybody. That's all been in our arsenal. So we're going to get into some Arsenal news. Well, guys. Can you believe that Dark Souls Remaster is coming to Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch? This game also will not be supporting HDR for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, but it will be supporting 4K. So you guys will get to see, I guess, a better frame rate. I think it's going to be at 60 frames per second, and it's going to look beautiful. I know more people are going to probably try to get this game more for Switch, but it's good that it's getting 4K support.
Oh no, people are going to be getting it for PS4 and Xbox One for trophies and achievements.
They could probably do the same thing for Xbox One. Yeah. So achievements, points, or trophies, points. Take it as you will. I am going to have mine on the go. I think I'm going to get it for Xbox One too, because I want to play it with the community if they decide to pick it up for Xbox One.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and back just really quick with the whole achievements thing. Now, did they officially announce about the changes that are going to be made to the achievements and stuff for Xbox?
No.
No.
They really haven't announced too much for it. I know they said it was just improved frame rate and resolution. So nothing else in that game is going to be changed.
Well, no, I mean achievements in general.
There's no list or anything. They haven't said nothing about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was hearing that there was someone mentioned something about for sure you getting unlocking stuff for your avatar and stuff through achievements.
No, Bandai Namco has been the one to update everybody on stuff, so they haven't announced anything outside just to improve resolution, the announcement of the game, and the date.
Okay.
So,
all right.
So, are you guys planning to get Dark Souls? I know you, Corey, is getting it on Switch because me and you both getting it on Switch.
Yeah, I'm getting on Switch, but for NGR Radio proper, we're gonna Moose and Matt and I are gonna do a Souls game Let's Play series, and we're gonna start with a new game plus on Bloodborne. And then we're going to make our way through Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. And I'm just like, oh boy, here we go.
Yes. Oh, forgot to mention that the multiplayer will have dedicated servers and it's going to allow up to 6 players.
6 players? That's interesting.
All at once. Yeah. So, but that's only for Xbox One and PS4. We don't really know much about the Switch version just yet. But it would be cool if they could do it also on Switch. Yeah, or if you could do it like local or online, that'd be real cool.
Yeah, I think Switch is gonna have to have local. I think that's just a no-brainer. I think.
Yeah, well, it shouldn't be too hard to do online for it.
Yeah. I'm just saying, because of what the Switch can do, I just think that's a no-brainer. Just to have the Switches connect to each other and just play local multiplayer. I don't see why I can't do that, but we'll see. I don't know. Xbox.
Yeah. So moving on, everybody, the Duke controller is making a comeback for $70.
Yay? Question mark.
Exactly. It's still hard to believe the original Xbox controller is mounting a comeback in 2018. Xbox designers Samus Blackie and Hyperkin have updated the Duke for Xbox One and PC players who, for one reason or another, have fond memories of the gargantuan gamepad. It was revealed that the revised controller will cost $70 when it ships in March. While that actually isn't cheap, it is cheaper than people were expecting for this controller. The difference in it is that the new Duke will have a OLED screen in the center that plays the Xbox startup animation, a USB cable, and a few extra buttons, including right and left bumpers. So they tweeted it out on how the controller actually looks. So it looks okay.
It looks like the Duke controller, which is why they redesigned the Xbox controller in the first place.
Yeah, because it looks like a murder instrument on.
Dude, I remember switching when in high school when we were all playing Halo hardcore, and they announced that they were bringing out a controller that kind of looked like the GameCube controller.
The slim version?
Yeah, we were all no, seriously, me and all my friends drove to I think it was still Babbage's at the time. Or Funkoland, or I don't know, it might have been EB or GameStop by then. But we've all piled in a car with our Duke controllers and traded them in towards the small controller.
When I bought my regular Xbox, they included that controller into the system.
Yeah,
I was just like, oh, this feels so good.
Yeah, I had my Duke controller for the longest time. I think I did eventually get rid of it, but I actually liked it just because my hands are bigger, so it just, I don't know, it fit right for me. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of want to get this, but my only worries, I mean, not that it'll be too big of a deal, but the OLEDs are known right now for burning images into the screens really easily, much easier than plasmas did. And so with them having that in there, is it gonna literally just burn that Xbox symbol in there permanently?
I
know,
can't
like
wait. I'll
I
tell
don't
you
know.
this: I can't wait for the pictures of that to show up.
Yeah, it'll be like it's gonna be like, it's gonna be like a week after that thing comes out, and people have been playing like Call of Duty or PUBG or Halo all weekend, and like when they turn their controller on, they're just gonna have the X burned into the screen. You know it's gonna happen.
You already know there's going to be that controller. People doing the LAN party of the first Halo in multiplayer. It's just gonna be like, this is what I did back in the day. Be like, ugh. With that controller, no thank you. I need my good old GameCube controller because I need the pop shells. That game controller is just still fantastic. I love that controller. Feels so good.
I wonder if we're gonna get. Gosh, never mind.
Do it, because if you say a GameCube controller that connects to the Switch, I would spend $100 right now.
No, I was just gonna say, I wonder if Nintendo is even considering doing a Wavebird that's compatible with Switch and like clicky sticks and double, like it'll be basically set up like the Pro controller built into the Wavebird. I think I just killed Ed. Ed's dead. Well, this has been Arsenal X, Xbox podcast. Edward's gone. I guess it's just me and Jesse.
Back to life. That just made me super happy.
I found one of my Wavebirds the other day. Made me really happy, except I don't know where the sensor bar is. So.
Oh no!
But
that'd be funny.
Those were the gray ones, right? Like they were gray.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had a bunch of things left. I had a Wavebird. I had like the Ocarina of Time remade, for GameCube, like the one that you only got if you, like pre-ordered Wind Waker or whatever. Like I had all that stuff, and I gave it to my nephews when they were younger, and like little did I know, like a little bit later, like all that stuff was worth like a lot of money because it was super hard to find that special, the special edition Ocarina of Time and stuff that came with the pre-order. So like all that stuff was like super hard to find, and they were charging a lot of money for it.
I had 3 memory cards because I had too many games. I was spending because
speaking of GameCube memory cards, I almost ordered some off of Amazon the other day because they had the biggest ones, like Nintendo, like the real Nintendo ones, for $14.99. Yeah, but I'm like, I almost ordered them. I'm like, when am I realistically going to go back and play my GameCube regularly? I mean. Look, I'm thinking about it, but like until I do, I'm like got some Switch games to.
It's kind of funny mentioning memory cards. Like a while back, I think it was on a Pow Block episode, we were talking about going to the arcades and stuff, and you guys were talking about playing Blitz. I think it was you, Corey, that were talking about playing Blitz, and all I can remember is having that area where you could plug your N64 memory card in.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was like what Blitz 2000, I think, had the Browns in it because it came in 1999. But when that game came out, the Browns didn't have a roster, so all the players on the Browns were fake players. because for you non-sports nerds, the Browns left Cleveland in 1996 and became the Baltimore Ravens, and then the NFL brought the Browns back because it was hurting the league's like what the league stood for, and so they brought the team back, and they were also losing a ton of money on merchandise because the Browns have like, even though they suck real bad, they have like one of the biggest fan bases in the world.
Yeah. And
like when they brought them back, like they had like 3 different like drafts for the Browns before like the real draft. They had like the free agent. They could like pick any free agent they wanted or whatever. They could like, or unrestricted free agent. And then they did like a supplemental draft, and then they did like the real draft, and it was like before all that NFL Blitz, I think like Blitz 2000 came out, and like there's all these fake players on the Browns. I'm like, none of these players are real. What's happening? These are not real players. But I didn't understand that at the time because I was like,
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't like really paying attention to like Blitz release dates or whatever, but
Right.
Yeah.
you know.
Which reminds me, Corey, did the Browns go 0-16
Yep,
this
sure
year?
did. They had the parade. They had the 0-16 parade.
They did?
Yep, 20,000 people showed up for it.
When?
Like 2 weekends ago, I think.
I can't believe they did that.
Yep, we lost to the Steelers second string. For our
Did that
last
coach
game.
get fired?
No, they didn't. The whole front office got fired. We got a new general manager, a new vice president of football operations, and Peyton Manning is rumored to be the new president of the Browns. Like he's been in Cleveland like 4 times since the season ended. So
Wow.
That would be interesting.
yeah, well, let's. You know what?
I don't.
You know what? When
Unlike
the Browns
this
were
yesterday.
0-12 this year, I posted on my Facebook that said, when Facebook decides to remind me of what happened 1 year ago and the Browns are headed to the playoffs, I want it noted that I was a Browns fan when they went 0-12 at this point in the season. So, and now it's time-stamped on a podcast. So, I'm currently wearing my brown slippers. It's a good time.
Yes.
Go
That's the
Browns.
As the Titans got like Soul Calibur yesterday.
You know what's
Yeah.
You know what's really funny too about the Browns is like the 2 best quarterbacks in the that were going into the draft are considering going back to college because they don't want to play for the Browns.
Wow.
Like that's a real thing. I'm like, guess we're not taking a quarterback. But Kirk Cousins is a free agent, and he said he wouldn't mind playing in Cleveland, so there's that.
Who is going to the Super Bowl? I don't even know
The
who.
playoffs are still going.
Yeah.
I
Who's
think
in the playoffs?
I don't know. The Vikings beat the Saints today in like a really big upset, I guess.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, Todd Oxford's going crazy all over Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah, that Titans game last night just wasn't fun.
Yeah, that sounded real sad.
Yeah, I woke up this morning and it was, or this afternoon even, and it's just been nothing but like the Tennessee Titan things that I'm following on Facebook are just made all these memes and stuff. Like the one with Brady on his knees in front of the refs.
Yeah, I
and
saw
it
that
said
too.
prior to the game. Yeah, just because of how badly that went with the and the sad part is these are supposed to be the refs that were the best of the best throughout the year, because these are supposed to be the final, the playoffs, and so they want the best people, for the job doing it, and they completely just.
Well, it sounds like that because when you were telling us, Jesse, that it sounded like the New Englands were cheating, like hardcore cheating, and they weren't really getting no calls.
I don't.
They
some call it
weren't cheating,
but it's like
they.
I feel like because it's Bill Belichick and Tom Brady and Gronk, like sometimes people feel like they get special treatment. Now, legally, I'm not allowed to say that on a podcast, but hypothetically, sometimes it seems true that they get special treatment because of
Allegedly.
Yes, quote unquote,
Yeah.
allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. I wouldn't even. Yeah, I wouldn't even
money.
call it cheating though. It's not like what happened wasn't cheating. It was just the refs not doing their job, just doing it very poorly. You can go back and watch the game, or just go on YouTube, I'm sure, and
Look,
watch
if
plenty of clips, like proving exactly what I'm talking about. But
Jesse, if that thing don't say Tecmo Bowl or John Madden, not John Madden, Joe Montana football for Sega Genesis,
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
not wouldn't be interested.
Joe Montana
Yeah,
football
no, I know.
94. All you had to do was a spin move, and you scored a touchdown. Doesn't matter what play you ran. You just hit spin move, and like I was always the Redskins. I don't know who their running back was at the time, but I was doing spin moves, and I would win. I would just win.
what was the games where you could do like the stiff arm too, and you could just like knock people out of the way?
Was it John Madden?
Quarterback club.
Was it?
Oh, good night! I can't believe you pulled that out of nowhere, Corey.
No, because like I always wanted a football game, and I always asked for Madden, and my parents always bought me quarterback club. So I was like, I guess I'm stuck playing quarterback club.
I had the Capcom one. Capcom did the NFL game for Super Nintendo.
Oh boy, but that was good.
But then NFL 2K came out, and I just played on the Dreamcast, and
Yeah, that's where most of my football gaming was played, was on the Dreamcast on the NFL 2K. Oh, I loved those games. It still sucks that they weren't allowed to make more games.
Yes. Well, we're gonna move on.
Yeah, now we're completely up.
Sorry, there's no Madden news. We're just talking about sports.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to PlayerUnknown's Battleground. They actually hit 3 million players before the end of 2017. So right now there's about 28 million players, and I'm gonna leave it at that. What you guys think? Because I still think the game is broken.
There's like a little bit of like, look, I'm okay with I just don't like it when people are reporting numbers when they're packing the game in with Xboxes. Like, I get it. Like, PUBG's popular. There's no like avoiding it. But like, after the first week and you start packing that game in with Xbox One X's, it's like, why are you reporting these numbers? Like, I get it. 3 million units is nothing to snuff at, but like, you're packing the game in with consoles at Christmas time. So
yeah, I mean, because a lot of people will argue, we did it with Wii Sports, and I'm
yeah,
just
but they weren't reporting that Wii Sports was an amazing seller. Like, they were just like, oh, it's a pack in. We get a pack in with the Wii.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And then they stopped after like 2 years, and they started packing new Super Mario Brothers in with it. Which, by the way, found out I have 3 copies of Wii Sports. Yeah. Well, okay, so, man, I'm sorry, we're really off topic, but I brought
Corey. This is Nerds Gone Wrong Radio.
I know.
We always get off a topic on different podcasts.
I know.
We keep forgetting.
I know. So I obviously got Wii Sports with my Wii at launch, right? And then I had to replace my Wii because there was an apartment fire, like 8 years ago now at this point, and like I lost everything, and I had to replace my Wii, so I had that. But like a lot of my games survived because they were in the other room. So I have that copy, and then my cousin just gave me his backwards compatible Wii for Christmas.
Yeah.
And Wii Sports was in there also, so I have 3 copies of Wii Sports. So if anybody wants a copy, maybe that'll be our next contest.
Putting it to the pop lock.
Yeah. So I'll sign it, maybe. So
From Corey. Please take care of this game.
Nobody wants anything signed from me.
I'll take something signed for you. Memories.
Oh, man.
I know, Jesse, you're interested in playing the game. I keep telling you wait till the game is fixed, but what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's it's just I don't know what to say. I mean, like, this happens. It seems like with every game like that comes out, like first person shooter, whatever. Like, when they come out, they're like almost always have issues. And since this game is like literally not even finished yet, it's you're gonna have issues. I mean, like all the people that I've watched or listened to talk about like playing it on Xbox.
Yeah.
It has its issues, but like, how long has World War II been out now? The Call of Duty game. It's been out for a while. That's a full, complete game, and we had to reset the game the other day when we were playing because there's still a glitch where you get stuck in basically waiting for it to load you into the game. Mm-hmm. And like people's guns disappear and you just get stuck there waiting, and all you can do is watch the rest of your team play without you, but you're still in the game technically. So like there's glitches like that are happening in that game, and it's been out for how long, and it's a complete game. So it's like this isn't the only game that has issues. Every single game like has its issues when it comes out, especially the ones that are heavily based in multiplayer. So for people to be just ignoring all those other games and never say anything about those, but when you have something that's a Xbox exclusive right away, oh, it's Xbox, let's completely rip it a new one because it's that's what we do now. So well, it's just it's just like everything has problems.
I mean this is the thing about it, is that I understand, ripping on PUBG. Yeah, I am ripping on it because I feel like there's no way that a game should ever fall to 10 frames per second. Regardless on what console.
It's in the preview program though.
It's still. I understand that it's still in a preview program, but it feels like with the preview program, it feels like you did 5 months worth of this game to even run on Xbox compared to you putting more time on the PC version because it's been out longer. So it feels the work for the game doesn't feel balanced. And I don't know if they hired more people to separate into 2 teams to work on Xbox version versus to work on the PC, but it looks like that most of the effort for that game came to PC, and then we'll just tinker with the Xbox version later. Because even when they pushed it back and said for all these delays and stuff, it still feels like the PC version is still superior, and then the Xbox version is just going to get a patch or 2 here.
Yeah.
So
this is the issue. This is like I think what they should have did is, unfortunately, and people want to complain and say, oh well, but this is free. Okay, so you pay the $30 for PUBG. That's the full, like, it's not the full game yet, but you are basically pre-buying the game,
right,
before it's fully made. Okay, and then you've got the Battle Royale mode for Fortnite that's free, but it's not the full, like, you don't get the benefits of it being, like, once it's completely that's game type is done, you get the full game because you're getting just that part of the game.
Yeah.
And so like what they should have did is gave you an option of having the game free, and you can play it, but you can't unlock anything or do any of that kind of stuff.
And and I agree with you.
Do it like that because then people can't complain. Like basically they charged you to pre-buy the game, and that gives, for whatever reason, the right for people to complain, even though it's not the full game, and it will work and it will be better once it's completed.
It's because it's the marketing thing, because it feels like when they showed us the game on Xbox, you thinking that it's running okay, that it's running good, that it's gonna there's not gonna be no problems, but with Blue Group or whoever, because they showed them the PC version, they didn't expect this game to have problems because of what was being shown. Everything that was shown in the marketing feels saying that looks like that is running on Xbox just fine. And definitely with it being exclusive to Microsoft, you thinking that this game gonna come out and run up fine. Because really, I don't know if a lot of people have been talking about problems on the PC version, but a lot of people have been talking about funny stories. That's what's been happening with players on Battleground. This is the first time that I heard like technical problems with Player Unknown. So
yeah, they were having issues more on Xbox than on, like, the PC still has some issues, but it's much more better, runs better on PC, and there's not quite as many problems. It's just the switching over, like the porting it to Xbox, like something along the way just wasn't set up right for it to run properly. So.
And they probably couldn't put out any kind of hiring for Xbox development, because people would have caught on and be like, okay, is PUBG coming to Xbox? Because that would have ruined the E3 surprise, I think. So I think once they announced that for Xbox at E3, they really should have just been hiring a lot of help for Xbox support to get it done. But they probably was trying to do it themselves and not be able to spend all that money. But I'm just like, you pretty much got what, maybe $30 million or because how many ever players they had paying $30, they had money to get that game developed for Xbox, to hire people to do the Xbox. They have money to do that.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. I just think like I think out of all of the separate console communities and PC and whatever, I think Xbox is like the least ready for a preview program, and like they're the only ones that have one. So
yeah,
like I don't know. I think them announcing that it's part of the preview program was good, but I don't think enough people know what the preview program is outside of like people who follow Xbox on a semi-regular basis, to the point where it's like, oh, there's this new game everybody's talking about, and they go to buy it, and then it plays like crap because it's part of the preview program. And then you're like, why does everybody like this game? And I just think it's not that it's miscommunication. I just don't think the preview program is well promoted to the point where...
I didn't even know they had a preview program. I just thought they was getting the game.
Well, the first game announced for the preview program was We Happy Few, which, by the way, still in the preview program, and that came out to the preview program last year. Doesn't even come out till April. So I don't know. I think maybe 6 months from now, PUBG will be where it needs to be. But at that point, like, I don't know if it's gonna be. I mean, I think it's gonna be popular, but like, I still think that game's gonna thrive on PC, and I think maybe the Xbox version will fizzle out because, PC players are more likely to stick with a game for years and years, whereas like console gamers, I feel like, oh, what's the next big thing coming up? What's the next big game coming up? And like, there's don't get me wrong, there's a few exceptions to that rule. Like Rainbow Six Siege is a big factor. Halo 5 has done well. Destiny, The Division, it's still trucking along somehow. Like, there are exceptions to that rule, but I just don't think PUBG has the hook that those games do. And I think although right now it got a lot of buzz and it was big for Xbox to get that as an exclusive, like, I don't know how long that formula is going to stick on Xbox.
Although everyone is copying them.
Oh,
Like,
I'm
yeah.
aware. I'm aware, but
so
all,
like,
but PUBG only has one shtick, whereas like you go into Fortnite, that has a whole single player campaign that has a whole PvE cooperative mode. Like that has other things other than battle royale. Dying Light is putting a battle royale mode in there, but that has obviously a whole bunch of other things to it. Grand Theft Auto added it to online, but it's Grand Theft Auto. There's a billion things you can do in that game. So like the shtick for PUBG works for it, but I think people are going to be itching for more, and they're going to start widening out to other places. You know, like for me, like the next big game that I think is going to do it well and do it right is the sequel to The Division, because like that formula fits that story. And like that could be like a new Dark Zone type area where like your agent goes in and has to survive, because all these other agents are rogue. Like I feel like The Division is the perfect game to add that mode. Maybe I haven't played enough of Rainbow Six Siege yet, but like I don't know, maybe something like that could be like a team-based battle royale. Where you're all kind of infiltrating the same building and you have to take each other out while trying to get to a goal type thing. Even Halo almost could pull it off, but like, I still think that battle royale formula fits something more like The Division, where it's already a loot-based game. You're already making your way through a Dark Zone type area, and that 1 versus 100 style gameplay would work great in that. So I don't know. I just think people on Xbox are going to start looking other places once this kind of hype dies down. But they're going to want that mode, but they're just going to want it in other games that they can do more. And then when their friends hop online, they can stick in that game, party up, and be like, okay, let's try some Battle Royale for a little bit.
Yeah. I know for me, I just play Royal Rumble on Super Nintendo. It's just throw fools over the top rope.
You and your obscure retro games.
What is retro about it? Royal Rumble was the joint back in the day. On Super Nintendo?
Back in 1993.
Well, once again, we're back to sports. So we're going to move on to almost our last story. Microsoft is introducing a career system. Coming at some point this year, Microsoft will be launching a career system for gamer profiles that will follow you around through all of your activities on Xbox. This new effort is meant to reward people, such as esports players, who stick with a single game for longer periods of time with rewards for their Xbox avatars. You'll be able to obtain levels, prestige your rank, and even get loot crates with cosmetic items through various quests that will be available. This new system will also seem to take play time into account. So if you log 500 plus hours on Rocket League, like a certain person, this is from Destructoid, you'll now be able to brag about it better on your profile. To be clear, this whole initiative won't replace achievements, but supplement them better for people who don't actively hunt gamer scores.
Sounds like the guy that came up with this plays a lot of Destiny, Phil Spencer, because like that this achievement system, like this new like profile system.
Destiny 2, everybody.
This sounds like dude, no, they haven't done anything this remotely cool in Destiny 2 yet.
No, I'm talking about Phil Spencer.
Oh,
you said play Destiny. I said Destiny 2.
I know, but he also played a lot of Destiny 1.
Okay.
Like in Destiny 1, when you completed like the raid on like prestige or whatever, I forget what it is now, but like the hardest difficulty, you got a specific banner or emblem that you could put on your on your Destiny profile, and it's like proof that you did it, or a cool ship, or obviously the raid gear is something that people wear too. So like it's this sounds like they're rewarding people for playing the games like the way that Destiny used to do, and I think that's really cool.
So yeah, because the Call of Duty games used to do that too. Like there was certain things like that were like super hard to get that you could get for a calling card or whatever.
Right.
And so stuff like that. Yeah, that, and if they do it good enough, they could have like you could have an icons or whatever that move and all that stuff, so that they could do some really cool stuff with that, for things to add.
Right. Yeah, I think Halo did that. I know the Master Chief Collection did it. I don't know if Halo 5 did it or not. But like, if you got certain achievements in the game, like multiplayer ones, it gave you new banners that you could add to your profile on the Master Chief Collection. So, and unlock new like avatars and stuff. So,
yeah. Okay. Yes. So everybody, last but not least, the Sea of Thieves beta starts in 2 more weeks. I am not going to be participating because I didn't pre-order the game and I didn't become one of the members for
you can pre-order it on Amazon with no money down, and then just cancel your pre-order when the beta's over.
I'm good to go. I want the full experience. Did you get it, Jesse? Are you part of the program?
Yeah, I signed up for it pretty early.
Okay, so we'll be looking forward to you for more information about that.
Yeah,
I am going to be watching Twitch streams and looking at Twitter, seeing people's reactions and stuff, and trying to follow it. And our very own Jesse Douglas will be our correspondent for that. Our cool correspondent.
Yes.
Me and Corey probably be playing something Switch. Be like, you know what, Corey, get on Doom.
When's the beta?
What did you say? It was in 2 weeks?
2 more weeks, yeah.
Yeah, I know. It was at the end of the month, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
The 20.
Bayonetta won't be out yet, so.
Was it the 28th?
I think so.
I forget now. But either way.
I'm just going yet.
I think it's the 24th through the 28th.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
I'm just going yell. Look, I'm just going yell at Corey. Don't ain't yo multiplayer Doom. Let's go at it. Wish we need to have a match. I actually need to start Doom on Switch. Yikes.
I need to. Gosh, now that I beat Zelda, I'm like staring at all my games and like, what do I play?
Yeah, the beta. So the beta is through the 24th through the 29th.
Okay.
It says so. So then I'll definitely be downloading that. Well, I wonder actually. I wonder if it's gonna end up being like kind of like some of those where when you download the closed betas that it turns into the open beta later. So I might actually already be able to download it because I have the beta downloaded, but it's the closed one.
It's the closed one. That's the first one that's coming. It's the closed. Probably in February they'll open it up to everybody to get a better test. Because I'm like, it's coming out March, and that would be good that they open it up to everybody to get a better feel of it. So
yeah, because I downloaded the one beta for it. That was basically only for like the people who signed up, for the preview program or whatever for the for Sea of Thieves. But the only thing with that is there was only certain time periods where you could actually play it. So you had to like find out when it was active or whatever or something like that. And then I finally did get that, but then it was just about to end when I got it, and I never got a chance to actually play it. So I wonder though if I download that again, if it would still be the same thing. I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
So everybody, that is our Arsenal news. It's time for our Arsenal exchange. Now, with the rumor of Playground Games making the Fable game, what do you guys think it would look like in play? Also, what would you hope they incorporate and remove from the series?
Oh boy, I think if it doesn't look close to the original Fable or like the original Fable games or like Sea of Thieves or something, like I need that cartooniness, like that like it has like an adult cartoon feel to it. Like a lot of the humor in that game is very like British version of Family Guy or South Park or something. Like not like sometimes not that grotesque or whatever, but it's more like adult themed than most cartoony games. Like I want it to be that. I want it to be like, I want them to make, look, I think I've said this 100 times either on this show or on multiple other shows, but like, I think they could do a Breath of the Wild-esque type open world with that, but really, like with the power of Xbox being that much more powerful than Switch and whatever, like they could add like whole towns and whole like I mean, not that Breath of the Wild didn't have big towns or anything, but they could add like, instead of having like 4 or 5 scattered throughout the world, 5, 10, whatever Breath of the Wild had, like they could add like 20 fully functioning towns, and like they could do unique stuff with the dogs, like the dog system that they have in the game, and the uniqueness of aging throughout your progression, you know, really making certain side quests count towards your progression. Like I just want that very colorful, very distinct art style, and I think like the art style that Sea of Thieves is going for, I think is perfect for Fable, honestly. Like I really do. And like I think Playground Games does a fantastic job with environments, in, you know, especially in Forza, you know, because like that's what they're known for. But like I think you know, moving from a racing game to an open world game like that, like I want to see what that looks like.
You could drift a horse. You'd be like, wait, what?
Yeah, carriage. Get drifting wheels for your horse carriage.
Well, could you imagine, like, if they were, like, let's say they were to do, yeah, like in the art style of you know, of kind of like the Fable and everything like that, but only have like really, really good looking, you know, like areas and stuff that look like kind of similar to like Tomb Raider and stuff, where it just like very detailed, like looking like mountains and things that you could climb and whatever.
The color palette, like the lighting around the shading.
Yeah, like something similar, because you know, like with the that's the thing, is it's kind of hard to imagine just because they're not quite known for doing something like this yet. But I mean, you know, like Corey was saying though, all those elements that we know they do really well, like the, you know, like storms and, you know, and all the different kinds of environmental changes and things like that. If they could add that, like, because like I like what they do in Breath of the Wild, like as far as the, you know, like, but at the same time that's still kind of basic. Like I mean there's some, you know, neat touches in it that are a little more than being just basic, like the lightning and, you know, the different kinds of physics like that. But I could see them doing that though, and like making like the lightning look more realistic, and, you know, and things like that.
The weather effects.
Yeah,
like,
the weather effects and all that being like look real, you know, more realistic and stuff like that. I think that could be you know, it could end up being a really cool looking game if they do it right. So
yeah, I don't need it to be like, I don't want it to look like Horizon or Uncharted. Like that's not what Fable is, you know.
No,
Fable's a very unique franchise, and I really want them to take this like seriously. I want them to take. This is gonna be an ironic.
Do you want to have it like?
I want them to
like
take the
almost
humor.
like a cell shaded kind of, like a deeper cell shaded.
No, I don't want cell shaded either. I want it just to be like cartoony. Like you look at videos of like old Fable, like Fable 2 and 3, and like you look at Sea of Thieves, the way that looks, like it's a very distinct art style, and like, you know, the characters look kind of chunky and whatever. Like even look at a game like Team Fortress 2, you know, something like that, where the characters are very like their character classes are over exaggerated features, and, you know, like if they're like the strong man, they've got this huge upper body and little tiny legs. Like it looks really funny, but it's part of the charm, you know. Like I think, man, Microsoft has such a unique franchise in Fable, and I want them to take the humor and the art style seriously. I want them to say what makes Fable Fable, cut out what doesn't work anymore in terms of modernizing the game, and make it like a modern kind of almost Skyrim-esque style game, but like with the Fable charm, with the Fable art style, with the goofiness. I wanna hear somebody call me a chicken chaser. I wanna hear someone, I want the creepy lady that narrates the game to be like kind of creepy looking, but also really dumb looking because she's a creepy old lady. Like I want them to take that kind of stuff seriously, and I want to see how another unique thing it has that like Zelda and Horizon don't really have is like a morality system. Like I want to see how the world changes due to you being evil and like killing everybody.
Well, that's part of Fable is the morality system.
That's what I'm saying. Like I want them to take that into consideration, and I want to see like this sprawling 80-hour adventure, like what happens 20, 30, 40 hours in when you're evil compared to when you're good. Like I want to see that.
So you still want the character to, when if they do evil, they look evil.
Yeah,
because that's what
that's what
happens
in
the
character. Not just the character though. I want the world to change, because like as you progress through the world, depending on how you do the side quests, I want the world to change. Like I want, if you're evil, I want towns to be overrun by like goblins and stuff, or
So if you do a dungeon or something, and like let's say something resembling a Triforce or something, if you're collecting when you're evil, that affects the land.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Exactly. And like I want like you to be able to like set your horse on fire, and like you being riding this like hell horse or whatever, like I want cool stuff like that to happen, and I think they could do cool things with the little dungeons that you go into. They're not just like, 'cause, like that was one of my big one of my only complaints about Horizon was like the dungeons were like very linear pathways with light climbing puzzles. They weren't really like dungeons the way that we think of dungeons in Zelda, and I think that was a missed opportunity for them, and I hope they take notes on that and like really make those dungeons something cool in the next game. But like Fable, I think they could really nail the like put like 70 or 75 mini dungeons around the world and make them similar to Zelda's shrines, but maybe like instead of one shrine in Zelda, make the dungeons like 2 or 3 shrines, like I don't know. I've got Zelda on the brain really hard right now, but I think Fable Fable has that same kind of charm that Zelda has almost, like maybe not like the same nostalgic factor for sure, but like, I think it has that same charm of whimsical characters and humor when it needs to and serious when it needs to be, and things happening out in the world that could be real dumb, but also like a serious story that you could progress through,
Well, I think that's one thing I would kind of want to incorporate in Fable is a story, because playing Fable 1, I didn't understand what the story was at all. I'm like, what is the purpose of this? Like, and I haven't played 2 or 3.
2's amazing.
Because, like I said, my version of Fable, when I got to the last boss, it was so glitched and bugged that I couldn't hit the enemy at all. He just floated up in the air, stayed right there, and any magic that I threw at him didn't affect him. So I was just like, yep, I'm not going to play this again because this is buggy. It's saved, and the only way for me to fix it, I have to erase that save and redo the whole game over. And I said nope. So yeah, but the story, I'm just like, I don't know what this world or the story is. Like even the morality system didn't like really make sense, because I thought that I could kill people and make them really afraid of me. They weren't afraid of me. They were like, "Oh, you murdered somebody," and went about their day. Like, wait, what?
Yeah. I think like when people say what they want from a I think when people say what they really want from a Fable game, I think like a lot of people look at Fable 2 as like kind of the best Fable, in terms of like what you could do in the game versus the morality system versus the weapons, and how the outcome is really affected by your morality. Where like Fable 1 was like, oh, okay, you're either good or bad, and you like age, but as you age, you either turn into like God or the devil, you know, like depending on how you progress. And then Fable 3 was like pretty linear, I would say, you know, in terms of like, okay, you could affect the world this way, but you're really going to become king or queen towards the middle of the game, and then it turned into like a kingdom simulator halfway through the game, which was like, that's not really Fable. And then, you know, we got everything else after that, which was like, yeah, I don't really want a horse riding simulator for Kinect. I'm sorry.
That was a mess. What about you, Jesse? What would you incorporate? What would you want them to incorporate in the game, and what would you want them to take out, like remove?
Honestly, like, I mean, what they've done, you know, like all the things that they've kind of had since the beginning. I don't think there's a whole lot that I'd want to take out. Maybe tweak things a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, I mean, Corey pretty much, everything that Corey said, is basically what I was thinking as far as, like changing things. Just like for me, I guess I just would like it to, just to basically feel like Fable, but just, basically be upgraded, keep the best things of, the best things about it, and just kind of, keep it, similar. And I just don't, my only fear is that they change it way too much to the point of where it just doesn't feel like, just doesn't feel like the same game that people wanted. So.
Do you guys want? Well, I know you haven't, Jesse, played Witcher 3, nor have you, Corey. But by looking at Witcher 3, if that became Fable like almost for that next Fable, would you guys still play it?
I mean, I think that's a little too serious. That's the thing is those kind of games are a little too serious, I think. I mean, you want to have a good story, but like the whole point of Fable is it is kind of supposed to be somewhat serious, but more on the
comedic side.
Yeah, more a little bit more lighthearted, And I feel like Witcher and those they kind of take them a little too seriously, like the game. I mean, there are some things in there that are kind of funny, but only just because of the dialogue or whatever. But or things, your options of what you can say and stuff like that. But
well, did Fable ever have like a class system in the later games or anything?
No,
not really, but I mean, you could spec your character how you wanted, but there wasn't I'm picking a healer at the beginning, so I'm going to have to be a healer and a magic wielder at the beginning. But you found ways to customize your character with it. It's I mean, it was kind of like Zelda, where I want to be an archer, so I'm going to find bows that work for me, or sword and shield. I'm obviously going to go find the master sword, but there's other swords that I could use. It was like that, pretty much. I mean, it was a little bit more.
Yeah, it wasn't labeled,
Zelda, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because
wasn't labeled.
Yeah, because I know that was in part 1. I mean, not having a class system, but I didn't know if 2 or 3 introduced a class system. Because I know it was up to you. Whatever your actions were in the first one will make you who you are as you grow up. So if you were killing people, or if you were using certain weapons and stuff, that's what you will be good at, as you progress further on in the game. And I didn't know if in 2 or 3 they'd be okay, you start a game and then you pick a class and that's what you're stuck with for a little bit.
Like, I mean, I guess I could see them maybe adding not necessarily classes, but adding like in certain games where you have I guess one option is, remember, like in the in Grand Theft Auto, like you could go to the gym and you could work out and get get stronger. Yeah, like if they were to have something where, like, let's say you wanted to be more of like mostly your main weapon, you use like a sword mostly, where you could go and you could train. Train. That was gonna go to like a training areas.
That was gonna be my next question. If you could meet other players and that other player could train you, like if they know like certain moves and that you haven't reached yet, but if you go to that trainer, pay them like 500 guild or whatever, they'll train you in that move. Then you could take it back in your game and use it. You know, people over farm that money to do that, find ways to cheat. But would you like something like that in the game?
I think that would be kind of interesting, to just having it where you could, like an archery, like thing where you could learn, different skills by going to the, whatever the archery place and practicing and. Have kind of similar to, like in Zelda, in Ocarina of Time, remember you had those areas that you could go to and it had the rupees and you had to shoot them with either your slingshot or your bow and arrow, and then if you completed it and got all of them in the time, the time amount that you're given, then you'd get something special. Like if they had stuff like that where you could kind of help level things up.
So like mini games.
And Bastion kind of had stuff similar to that too, didn't it? Like, you guys did you guys play Bastion?
I played it on PS3. I have it on PS4. I need to finish it though.
Okay. Yeah, because they had that where you could go to these areas and you could do certain things with like you had to do a certain objective with your bow and arrow or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like there was a thing, and then if you finished it in a certain amount of time, you could unlock all three things. Or like if they did something similar to that, like where that would help like grow your character in the path that you'd maybe want to take. Like just maybe if they add more path building, choices, like things that you can do to build your path, not only like what if you want to use mostly bow and arrow or you want to use mostly sword, but also like if you are driving to be a good character or driving to be an evil character.
I know they're going to probably add online, and probably like 4 players could tackle quests and things like that. Anything else would you guys like to see in this online features? Like mating the dogs or other characters. I mean, you was able to have kids in the original Fable, so why not, see if they can have a love connection in this game with online players, and they make and you get a kid, and that's like an additional character or something, and you traverse with the kid, and he helps you or something, become an AI or something.
I mean, I would like to be able to like invite people to my game and help me with quests and stuff, but like it should be not the same as Bloodborne or Dark Souls, but like, you should be able to invite someone in to come in and help you with quests and stuff, and be able to drop in, drop out anytime you need to. I think that would be cool. But in addition, I would like to see companions, like real cool companions added to Fable, because like there weren't really, I mean there kind of were, but there weren't like, hey, I'm gonna have a party and they're gonna travel with me and be that kind of stuff. So like I think it'd be cool to have companions too that would like have some witty banter with you and like be stupid.
Yeah, like maybe a wolf named Tink. That you ride on. Alright, whatever.
And
Well, last question. If Playgrounds are not doing this Fable, who do you guys think could be doing this Fable game?
oh my gosh, I don't know. I don't even know. I mean, I thought like when we were talking about British studios, we were talking about Sumo Digital. Like I think that would be like I really honestly have no idea. Like my ideal company would be Rare, honestly, but they're so busy with Sea of Thieves. I don't know how they could be doing a second game right now.
Yeah.
So I honestly don't know. It's got to be someone British, and it's got to be someone with the right talent. So I honestly have no idea.
Well, it can't be CD Reg. They're doing 277 Cyborg or something like that.
Cyberpunk?
Yeah.
I don't think they could, like, as great as The Witcher is, I don't think they could do a Fable game justice. Like they've
that's
got
why I
their,
said that's why I said they're not doing it because of them working on that game.
yeah.
So that's why I said they're out. That's out of it. Because somebody might try to say that first. I'm like, no, they were working on their own game. I think they're done with The Witcher for right now. I guess unless you count Gwent, whatever that is, that card game. Yeah, I'm with you, Corey. I don't know.
Gosh, unless like Microsoft announces that they're starting another internal team, like, but I don't know why they would do that. I don't know why they wouldn't have just restructured Lionhead if they were doing that. So I don't know. I know Phil Spencer says he wants to open studios again to like work on games, but I also don't think he wants to be stuck in the corner like they were with Halo this generation, where like they built a studio to develop Halo games, and Halo 5 didn't sell nearly as well as 3 or 4. So, I mean, I really don't know, man. I think you're going to see a lot of studios. I think you're going to see a lot of Microsoft studios start developing systems for every game, similar to what Ubisoft does, and they're going to be able to pick and choose what systems they want in each game, because I know almost all Microsoft's first-party games now, besides Halo, run on Unreal 4. So the Coalition was helping with PUBG. They're now helping with one of Microsoft's other projects outside of Gears. They're rumored to be building systems from the IP they were working on before Gears 4, and they're rumored to have those systems be working in a Perfect Dark game.
For their new IP?
Yeah, the Shanghai or whatever, that IP they were working on before Gears 4, when they were still Black Tusk. And like that tech is going into the new Perfect Dark game. So like, you know, I think you're gonna start seeing like the idea.
Did they announce one?
No, but it's the rumor.
It's rumor.
It's just the rumor. It's just a big rumor.
The Coalition, right? Because Coalition said that they're doing a new IP, so they can't be working on Perfect Dark. Someone else has to be working on it.
Well, they changed. They said they were working on a new IP, but now it's just an open world action game. So, like, a lot of people think that the Coalition is splitting into 3 teams: a engine development team, a Gears team, and then a third team. So, like, the engineering team is obviously working on the systems for Gears and PUBG and apparently Perfect Dark, whatever. And then, you know, they're going to be able to, like, the Coalition is now like the engineering team, and Gears is just their proof of concept, similar to what Unreal was when they were developing Gears. And Unreal 3, they were just trying to show it off, you know. So Coalition has kind of turned into that for Microsoft, and I think you're going to see a lot more of that. I think Microsoft's going to grow into a business similar to what Ubisoft is, and like, you know, they're just going to be able to pick and choose these different systems in their games, and a lot of their games are going to feel similar in different ways. But you know, I think they're also smart enough to choose different styles of games and different you know, art styles, different genres. Unlike, you know, Sony, who kind of like, don't get me wrong, I like a lot of what Sony's doing, but like talked about, like what we talked about on Pal Block today, or earlier today, yesterday, I guess, if you're listening to this live, or whenever it goes up. But like Sony seems to be in a lot of like, I don't want to say development trouble, but their development of these games has been concerning for a while, and they're just lucky that they're kind of surviving off of third parties. Because like there's 70 million PS4s out there, and Horizon only sold 4 million copies. Like that's not really a lot for something that with a box out there with 70 million units out there. So I mean, I think, you know, a lot of over the shoulder shooting, kind of open world, semi-open world, because like from all accounts, like God of War is going to be like a melee, like it looks like a melee based Uncharted game, honestly. Like as excited as I am for that, like it's an over the shoulder game. You know, it's you've got a buddy with you. They say it's open linear, so like you're really traveling these open areas, kind of like that Madagascar and Uncharted 4. Like where it's kind of open, but you're really traveling in a linear space, you know. So I
really wonder if Resident Evil 4 was the start of that over the shoulder.
I mean, it was. Epic pretty much came out and said Resident Evil 4 was the inspiration for the combat in Gears of War. So
I mean, just the look of it, of having over the shoulder of Resident Evil 4 was the start of it.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like that style of game, but there's just like there's a difference in liking something and then having your whole first party portfolio kind of be that, which is like, you know, the only games that really differentiate from that from Sony is like Gravity Rush, you know, Infamous. I mean, even Infamous almost to an extent when you're using the lightning powers almost, but like, you know, Horizon is a like kind of semi over the shoulder, and especially when you're pulling the bow back, or, you know, I think getting back to Xbox, I think they diversify their portfolio more, and with a little bit more focus on their properties and like really kind of honing in everything. You know, like we said at the end of last year, I guess it was last episode actually, like Microsoft's online system, fantastic. Their box is great. You know, the Xbox One X is a great box, you know, from all accounts. Now they just got to focus and really like put some polish on their first party stuff that they're putting out this year and next year, which is why I'm glad they delayed Crackdown, because like I think Crackdown is actually going to be kind of like a sleeper hit for them. I really do. Like I know like a lot of people have concerns about Crackdown, but it wouldn't surprise me if that game came out and got 9s.
Yeah, I think if they market Crackdown, because I think that's what they got to do. They got to be like, even
that's the other rumor, is that they've already talked to Phil Spencer about when Halo 6 is coming out, because they want to like do a beta for Halo 6 multiplayer with it.
Well, yeah. Because Phil Spencer or Metro Nelson, one of them said, like, don't even look for Halo 6 just yet. Yeah, like they're not even ready to announce anything.
Yeah, 343 even came out and kind of said, like, we don't even know if we're going to be ready to even show Halo 6 this year. So, like, I'm not expecting Halo 6, but, like, I think they could build a small multiplayer, kind of like a real beta, like a year and a half out, you know, from release, and really get, you know, kind of
like kind of like an R&D.
Yeah, like I mean, like the Halo 5 beta. You know, the Halo 5 beta came with the Master Chief Collection, and that came out 13 months after the Master Chief Collection. So like that was a real beta. That was a real test. You know, unlike these two like betas that come out 2 weeks before the game comes out. There's no real change that could come in there. It's just a server test. You know, so
yeah.
If they could get a build of what the multiplayer could be like, and not even like have like 2 levels maybe, and like no Spartan customization whatsoever, really, like test things, and it would be
dummy games is like what I like to call them. Dummy games, as in they're putting a build out there and they want to see how players react to it. And with the reaction, they could comment on what they like and what they don't like, so that they could take that and pull that into like the Halo 6 before they like finalize or something.
Yeah, exactly. So,
I can see that happening.
I mean, we'll see. I think Crackdown is like their big game right now, and Sea of Thieves are like they're starting to put out big first party games again, and like they've got to really commit to these games, and they've got to be good, and like that's what them committing like really hard to these games makes me have faith that these games are going to be great. You know, like sometimes, I mean, we've seen I don't mean to keep picking on Sony, but like we talked about it earlier again, Ed, look at The Order, look at Uncharted, look at Days Gone. Like these games feel like that they've been in development for so long that like Sony at some point has to say, look, you have to put this game out. And the only games, like the only studios that really have the leeway for Sony right now are Naughty Dog and Guerrilla. Every other studio has to get their game out, you know? And like that's why I think Dreams and like Media Molecule for some reason has had like an 8-year development cycle for Dreams, but I think that game's going to be something like is something really creative and like what Project Spark wanted to be, but I think Dreams is really going to nail it. But at the same time, how many people are going to sit down and actually work with those tools? How dedicated is that audience going to be? It's going to be interesting. You know, it's not as simple as Mario Maker was, or Little Big Planet. You know, this is a complex set of tools they're putting out there. But, you know, I really think Microsoft is really going to commit this year, and we're going to finally see an Xbox roadmap. And now that they have their box and their online service and Game Pass and Games with Gold, like all these great features, now they're going to start putting out the games, and it's kind of like a giant reset for Xbox. You know, the first 6 months to a year of a console's life cycle, you get ports and third-party games, and like they're treating Xbox One X as a you know, as brand new console, and like it's
like a relaunch.
Yeah, you know, it's a big reset for them, and pushing Sea of Thieves and Crackdown and State of Decay is going to be the first test.
And I think because I really do think that Microsoft studied Nintendo. I think they looked at Switch and seen how their releases are done, and just seen how people reacted to some of the sales. Like I think Microsoft took a fall back and just like, okay, we're still getting our stuff together, but if we could do what Nintendo Switch is doing with our box, we should be in a good spot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I think part of the thing is at this point, like, you know, like Xbox is like they, you know, as far as the exclusives or, you know, first party stuff, their material, like at this point, it's going to be hard for them to catch up to PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
So they're better off going for the quality over quantity.
Right.
And so, you know, kind of like Corey was saying, for them to just worry about making the things that they're going to bring out good and just make sure that those are perfect, you know, they halted Crackdown to make sure that it was a better game, you know, and as long as they do that, they shouldn't have to worry about how many games they're coming out with. It's just like, you know, we don't have a lot of games coming out, but we can guarantee you these games are going to be good.
If you guys could talk about our quality, because I definitely agree with you on that, Jesse. Like with Sony, I think the only thing that is going on for them is the numbers, and numbers as impressive are there is that is if no one is really talking more about your games and you only could just bring out numbers, that's a concern. Because like you mentioned, Corey, 70 million PlayStation 4s out, 4 million for only Horizon, which is pretty much a lot of people's game of the year besides Nier Automata. Like that becomes a really big problem. And people could get on Switch all they want to, but people are constantly talking about the quality of the games that they're playing for Switch. They're talking about how good that port is. Look at Doom. Nintendo Pop, like if you guys watched that yesterday, me and Corey was talking about how there's a hashtag for Doom of let's get it to 1 million. And I was telling Corey that there's on PlayStation and on Xbox, there has never been a hashtag to get a game up that high. Because people have been talking about the quality, it's a lower quality, but it's good. And if Microsoft could get that kind of hashtag talk, could get that on social media and in real life, if they could get the qualities about their games being talked about, they're going to surpass the interest of PlayStation. Not the numbers, but the interest.
Yeah. I don't know. It's gonna be a big year for Microsoft, and like another year without Halo. They're really gonna have to start pushing quality, and like I think, I don't think they need Halo 6 this year. I think Halo 5 is a perfectly serviceable multiplayer game that still continues to thrive. I still pop in from time to time and have a good time playing it. And like as far as like games as a service goes, besides Ubisoft, I think Microsoft does it the best. Like Halo does amazingly well. Gears of War 4 does amazingly well. I think Sea of Thieves is going to perform how Microsoft wants it to. I don't know if it's going to do Destiny or Call of Duty numbers, but it's definitely going to do I think it's going to probably be up there with Halo because enough people are interested in what Rare has because they have that pedigree, they have that nostalgia factor from people growing up with Super Nintendo and N64 and part of GameCube, and I think enough people are interested in what Rare's doing that it will sell based on the Rare name alone, and then I think it's probably going to turn out to be a great game. They outlined the progression system finally. They've shown some cool footage. I hope Sea of Thieves does well, and I want to play it, and I want it to do well, and I can't wait to do co-op stuff with you guys on it. And
yes,
and I really want Crackdown to do well, and I think that's going to be a big games of service as well. I think you're going to be able to get rec packs similar to Halo and customize your agent when you go into multiplayer, and really I think it's going to have a really cool destructible open world, and I think the missions are going to be cool, and I think Microsoft is going to when they focus on quality, I think it's going to do well, and I think they're going to be games with legs.
Right.
So
they're going to stand out. They're going to stand out more than they will with Sony games.
Yeah.
And maybe even some Nintendo games. I'm not gonna just knock Sony. I can knock Nintendo too. I could be fair to all consoles. But everybody, that is going to be it for Arsenal X. Thank you guys for this discussion. Jesse, go ahead and plug. Where can we find you at?
You can find me on Twitter at @sub_humanist.
Corey, where can we find you at?
You can find me at CoreyandHD on Instagram and Twitter, and on various other shows across NGR Radio.
Yes, you guys can find me on Twitter at ThatRetroCode, and you can hear my podcast, Optional Opinion, on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and other podcast apps. You can find me also on other podcasts here on NGR Radio. We would like you guys to email the show at ArsenalXPodcast. I want to hear what your thoughts of what you think Fable game from Playground Studio, how that would look, how it would play. What would you like to incorporate in that game, and what would you like to remove? Or just send us some thoughts on what you think about the show. Like I said, we got that contest, so check our Facebook page and Instagram. You guys got to the 27th of January.
Join the Arsenal X community on Xbox One.
Yes,
we should we should post about the contest in the community too.
I might not have that on the. I know I got it on the Arsenal X page.
No, I mean,
is it the creator?
I meant on the Xbox One community, on the system.
Oh, I didn't know I could do that.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm learning. So with that, everybody, we're about to throw up the X one more time. because we're exiting out. Have a great night. Have a great weekend, and we are out. Ding. Peace. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.